Here. Everybody ready? We'll see Mark here, so call this meeting to order. Do a roll call. We'll say the pledge first. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and do a roll call. Ready for, we're gonna do a roll call next here. There's a roll call. Everybody present?
I think you have to call us by name. I think you have to call us by name.
Want me to roll through it, Kenny?
Yeah, roll through it, because I don't have all the exact names. I got a couple.
Kenny, you don't?
Here.
Eugene Pugh,
There.
Richard June,
Present.
Mike Holkman,
Here.
Mark Allen, John McCurry,
Here.
Robbie Blodgett here, myself, Amber.
Okay. We're gonna do these, that last minutes now, and you said. There is no minutes. All right, from the last.
There's Mark.
All right, before we proceed, here's Mark. Oh, good.
Eugene.
Mark can read this then, right? Yep, yes, and Mark, read this here. We're ready for this before we proceed about this last meeting
Can you do tablets?
about, I don't know.
Did we do the pledge?
Yeah, we did everything. We're up to that point right now.
Okay.
We're calling it.
Oh, roll call. You had any on the roll?
You did. Now. All right.
Written down this time.
Okay, so the last meeting was null and void. So we're gonna read exactly what the reasons. So good evening, I'm calling this meeting, Stark County Board of Zoning Appeals to order. Before we proceed with tonight's agenda, I want to address the February 11th meeting. Following that hearing, it was determined that the required statutory newspaper publication was not completed prior to the February 11th public hearing. Although notice was properly posted and certified mailings were sent to surrounding property owners, the publication requirement under Indiana law was not satisfied. Because statutory notice requirements must be strictly followed, the board will take corrective action this evening to formally vacate any actions taken on February 11th, 2026. Tonight's hearing will be conducted de novo. Okay. This means the board will hear each petition anew, consideration the evidence and testimony presented tonight, and make its decision based solely on the record created this evening. No prior motion or discussion from February 11th will control the outcome of tonight's deliberation. This corrective action is procurative in nature and is being taken to ensure full compliance with the Indiana law and to preserve the integrity of the board's process. With that, we will proceed first with a motion to vacate the February 11th actions before hearing the petitions in order listed on tonight's agenda. So can I get a motion
So
to vacate the February 11th meeting? Okay, got a motion, got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the first, did they move up? Move everybody around? So you-
We did, I guess the first one, we redo Jeremiah Patrick. I guess it was reshuffled.
Okay. And I was gonna say, I see it's different.
Yep.
So I'm gonna read what the BZA petition C, Jeremiah and Tracy Patrick. Request for a use variance in response to a zoning and building code violation. 2 dwellings on a parcel and undersize of property zone agriculture residential. Property address is 5380 North, 1100 East, Grovertown, Indiana. parcel number 75-03-24-300-034.000-009. I knew it was coming on.
Coming at you.
What's the pin? Do you know what the pin is?
9133.
Oh,
91
That'd be better.
199.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay.
Was Jeremiah here tonight?
He is available on Zoom. Jeremiah, can you hear us?
Are you Jeremiah's attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, my name is Matthew Hagenow. I'm an attorney for Jeremiah and Tracy Patrick, the petitioners. Jeremiah is here by Zoom. He's, out of town, so he couldn't be here in person. But obviously he's available to present as well. Before we get started, I will say, I realize you just took action to nullify the prior meeting based on a lack of notice that, nobody's pointing the fingers, but it was the county's responsibility. I know there was an extensive hearing from that February 11th meeting. There was an hour's worth of evidence, testimony, comments for and against presented, comments by the board, after which a motion was made, specific findings were proposed and approved by the board. And having spoken with the BZA's attorney, Mr. Biss, following that about tonight's hearing. I don't want to speak for him, he's not here, but there was some concession and understanding that we are going to, and I am specifically requesting that everything that was said at the February 11th hearing be incorporated into the official record of this meeting tonight. So I understand you're going to take legal action based on the petition and consider it a new petition for tonight's hearing. But for purposes of the official record, for any future appeals, the testimony from February 11th, the evidence, all the discussion should be included in the record, and we would request that that happen. As far as tonight, we are asking you to just confirm and reaffirm what you already discussed at length and decided in favor of granting the use variance with the restrictions, and honor what you agreed to do, about a month ago. I will tell you that Mr. Patrick, since that hearing has taken, and Tracy, they have taken action in reliance on the decision that was made at that time. Inspections have been completed. County officials can speak to that, but my understanding is the septic has been passed. All the building inspections have been approved. The only remaining item out there is payment of fines with Mr. McCreary to make a final decision on that amount. Those will be paid. So that's what they have done in the last 3 weeks. So we would respectfully request that, again, that you honor the decision that's already been made after extensive discussion. Jeremiah, I would turn it over to you if you have anything additional to add. You're muted, Jeremiah.
Nate, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you guys, but I can't hear Jeremiah. He's muted.
Okay.
I guess while he's unmuting himself, is that Mr. Hagenow? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. I did speak with Mr. Hagenow last week, and my comment is accurate. What he reflected, the information that was presented by the public, obviously they had notice of it. I have no objection to that being received in the record, the information that was notated and issued in the public in the last meeting. The decision that was rendered is void, but the information received, I do deem properly received during public comment then.
He's trying to log back in. I don't know if he has additional things to add. I'm mindful of your time, and so I don't want to represent, and that's why I reached out to this. You mentioned you spent an hour of good time last month, and the facts haven't changed. Other than an inspection.
He's totally muted. Is that on our side?
No.
We're off for a second.
Whoever you're using does not like him.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
We're gonna make it easy.
God.
I guess at this point. I need a motion to open it up for public comment, even though we've been listening kind of, and I get a
This-
motion
this-
to open it up.
No, Mr. Chairman, there's no motion needed.
No motion needed then?
Nope, just
Okay.
open it up for public comments. You call for
Okay.
public comment 3 times, and after that, close it.
Okay, so if there are anything that somebody would like to say, this would be an opportunity to say it for or against this situation. State your name, your address, so that way we know where you live. At least I think we're looking for more input from the neighbors. I do know that there was letters that were sent. I don't know if any of those changed or any more information came in during this time frame, but if anybody'd like to speak, it's open, so you can stand up.
So
Our name,
Justin Reisner, Grovertown. I honestly, I could care less either way, but I think that, our opinions really shouldn't hold, any weight to the opinions of the neighbors that are surrounding them and are being directly affected by it. I think that their opinion should hold more weight than any of ours. My one question would be if things would have been done properly and, a variance applied for in the beginning, would it had to have went for the neighboring's approval for a short-term rental? And if so, if they're objecting to it, why is it a discussion at this point?
anybody want to?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead, Sid.
This has been going on for what I am just learning, 4 to 5 years? As we all know, a lot of, members came and gone on this board, and there's a lot of information that was lost and it got dropped on our lap. Myself being new to this board, and, I'm not new to politics. I was a commissioner for the state of Indiana. But what had happened was the board meant well to try to put this fire out. Without knowing what the promises people might have made him promises. He said people made him promises way back. They're no longer here. So we don't know what promises people made or okays they gave him. The fact of the matter is it's dropped on our lap. And I'm the one responsible for making that motion, trying to be a good guy, trying to work with the community, but not knowing exactly all the background in our law and our, here in the county at the time. Before I had done research since, I promise you. But it was meant in a good way and trying not to set a precedent for all the people, everybody getting in line, think they put a shed up and turn it into a, bed and breakfast or whatever. It was a blessing to me that it wasn't the procedures got tied up into administration rules and state regulation law. Because after researching it and massaging all this, I found out the hard way that it blew up in my face. And our board members meant well by trying to put this behind and move on to some new business here in the county, which there's some pretty big things coming up. So I did learn that, and it's understandable, you can't put two properties on one parcel.
Comment still?
Yes. Do you have something to say?
Mr. Chairman, now is the time to receive public comment, and after that, when it's closed, then the board can ask additional questions of the petitioner and then discuss.
So anyway, I'll finish up real quickly. That's how we got into this mess. And the intention definitely was not to set any kind of precedent, but apparently it was misunderstood by some in the public. And now, since we have a second opportunity here, perhaps we can clarify some things and clean that mess up.
Well, I guess my biggest question would be if this would originally been put in for a permit for a short-term rental
Right.
with this.
Yeah,
That is.
I can,
this person-
I can,
You were here for the first meeting.
so if they would have put in all the proper permits on time, like there was miscommunication is what Penny was trying to say. So when
Only.
they had to, no, on the office too, when they had to apply for the variance to put another dwelling on, everyone would have got notified. Just the same, and would have been able to show up to the meeting. I think that was your question. Who got notified?
My question would the neighbors have to prove, like, if it's 30, 40 yards from the neighbor's home, would they have to approve?
Okay,
get
so
approval?
real quick, Airbnb doesn't matter. Anyone can have an Airbnb whenever they want, wherever they want. He would have requested a variance to have a second dwelling on the home, and he would have still requested a variance for having under the square footage required for a home. In that case, yes, every neighbor would have been notified. All we're doing is we're doing the same steps he should or would have done 4 years ago.
I think you need to clarify to Mr. Reisner that it's not the neighbors making the decision, it's the board members.
The neighbors have impact, they gotta live with it.
Fine.
And I understand what you're saying, and I don't mean that in a smart way either. I'm just saying, things happen to me as being a neighbor, and some things, got put up and stuff. I really didn't have a say. But, the board has to, hear both sides and kind of weigh it out without putting their finger on the scale.
Clearly aware of how.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, so,
He was on commission.
Okay,
okay.
Teresa
Oh,
Taylor, welcome
okay.
to 880 East US 30 Grovertown, Indiana. Jeremiah is one of the finest individuals I have had the pleasure to call a friend. He's a true friend. He's been a friend to this community. He goes out of his way. There's been countless donations to community events. He provides jobs to people in the community. He has built a huge expansion to employ even more members of the community.
That's irrelevant.
Are you a lawyer?
Are you?
Please, just let it finish.
This way, I'm making a point here.
Yeah.
For his community, his employees, his family, his friends, even his enemies, even his neighbor who shot at his property directly at his kids, he offered for them to come over and use their gun range or his gun range. And she didn't comply, she didn't agree. What did she do? They did it again. So she's upset with him for some reason. So have there been any police reports from this neighbor? Another of his neighbors is Jessica Kraus, a jilted ex-girlfriend. Have there been any police reports?
Assassination.
Have there been, it's fact, actually. Have there been, you're a troublemaker. Have there been any police reports from either of these neighbors is my question. Have those been submitted for evidence?
Yes.
They weren't in the first hearing. the cabin would be no different than what Jerma has provided to this community. It would bring revenue to the community. It would support these restaurants that are failing, these mom and pop restaurants, these local businesses. You guys are cutting your nose off to spite your face. Aren't you all property owners? You want to because you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. County code is already strict enough. It's not gonna get any more lenient. You're setting a precedent as well. Know that. The county's setting a precedent in their favor. You are also setting a precedent in the county's favor if they deny Jeremiah's variance. Just know this, you're also a property owner. Keep that in mind.
What's it gonna?
Also, you are all property owners. So be mindful of that. So let me caution all of you with your Mountain Dew mentalities. Be a little more careful when you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. One, I would agree with you, Justin, if some of these neighbors were not the people they are. And Jeremiah was not the only one at fault here. The county has been at fault too. We can't keep hammering Jeremiah. The county didn't do their part either. They didn't. I mean, look, we're here. I'm wasting another of my evenings because the county did not
video film with Jeremiah.
newspaper posting.
I have.
You can shut up.
Thank you.
We're just trying to, this all got, let's put why we're here. We're trying to resolve this. All right, what someone else promised him, what was agreed with by some other party. I don't know. We don't know. We don't.
Just trying to.
If I can speak to the board,
Not-
please. If I can speak to the board, please, Mr. Chairman. The purpose of public comment is to receive public comment. The public should be respectful. The people surrounding the person in the audience should be respectful.
Yeah.
The folks that are on the board, as well as municipal employees, should receive the information. Then we can close it and then we can discuss.
Any more public comment? Yes, ma'am.
I'm the jilted girlfriend that she just said, but I'm actually not. So I feel like the name calling is a little unnecessary. But my house is 20 to 30 yards, not very good with that, but I think it's pretty accurate. I have had, not too long ago, I'd say in the last year, a car who decided to back up differently in the driveway, shine their lights. It was 11 o'clock midnight. I go by Eastern time. My preference, my problem, I understand that. But and my bedroom is on the north side of the house that directly faces that cabin. So anything they do, I can hear it, even with my windows shut. You can hear everything because it's not that far away. I understand, like, honest to God, if they wanted to move their parents into that cabin, I don't mind it. This whole second dwelling, I don't mind that because I feel like anybody that they permanently moved in there would have naturally respect for the neighbors. They would have natural respect for me. This or any other neighbor, I don't know whose neighbors are around here because I keep to myself back in my little hole, right? The fact that it is a vacation spot to people, well, even if you rented something for the weekend, you're there to get away and do whatever you want, right? There's a hot tub, there's music, you can do whatever you want because you're paying for that. And I try to respect that. So no, I have not called the cops on a Saturday night when they're still playing music at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I'm not gonna be that neighbor either that calls the cops 24/7. I'm pretty sure Stark County Police have better things to do than me complaining about the noise, right? Noise on weekends doesn't really bother me. I'm a night owl anyway. But I work Monday through Friday. These people are renting it to get away, and that thing is rented all the time. It's not just weekends, rented all the time. So I'd have to get up and work Monday through Friday. These people want to enjoy this vacation spot. Why do I have to deal with that? Any other neighbor can complain if they are surrounding neighbors. I know the last meeting, you had people stand up from Knox, you had people stand up from North Judson. They have, their opinion does not matter in any shape or form. And if it does matter, then go build a cabin on their property and let them deal with it. That's my only beef. If they want to move somebody in there permanently, let them. I personally don't care. I know what the next meeting, you guys have 3 other individuals for a second dwelling now, right? 3 more, so you are setting 110%. And I don't care what county you are, I don't care if they weren't my neighbors, I would be telling you guys the same thing. You are setting the precedent. I have to directly deal with it. You guys don't. Nobody else does. I do.
Any other public comment? Can I get a motion to close public comment?
One more that was sent in.
Okay, go ahead.
She is not in here this evening. We still have yours from the record and I have, if you want to follow up with your last one, or I can read out. Okay. So I have one from Amber Good. It said, I respectfully submit this addendum to clarify my previously submitted written comments apply to both variances requested under the petition C, specifically variance to allow an undersized dwelling and a variance to permit 2 dwellings on a single parcel. My concerns regarding land use intensity, infrastructure demands, and compatibility with the agricultural residential district apply directly to each request. And then we had your records from the last time. Our new additional one is also from Rebecca McQueston. It says, good evening. I cannot make this hearing in person, but I hope you take my comments seriously and into consideration regardless, especially being that I'm a neighboring residence to the dwelling in question. Though I oppose the variances being reviewed, I'd like to say if you decide to approve them, I hope you're prepared to make the same exceptions for the Stark County residents. When I researched the word variance, I found that it meant a formally approved exception to local land use regulations, allowing property owners to deviate from strict zoning laws due to unique hardships. The structure was already built. What was the unique hardship? Should the request for variances have been before the structure was built? I know I would have appreciated an opinion before it was built. Thank you for listening, Rebecca Buston.
Can I get a motion to close public comment?
I move we close public comment.
Got a motion? Get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Board discussion?
So we did ask for specifically if there were any police reports, correct? But
Have any been submitted? Police report?
That wouldn't come to us, so we're not cool.
Nobody submitted
it's
to you
easily
police
asked,
report.
ask for that.
I just feel it's irrelevant. I just feel the only thing relevant here is
The
the
variance.
ordinance. We have an ordinance that says you have to build a 900 square foot residence
700,
on a parcel, minimum. This
So-
was a 280, correct?
700,
700, yeah.
700.
280. It also, the
900?
ordinance also says that you
700,
can't have 2 residences on one parcel.
700.
So that's 2 things that went wrong. And I'm hoping Mike can give me a summary on the septic issue there.
There was never a septic permit issued originally before that.
There's 3 things. And he cannot claim that he didn't know the system. He's applied for 8 permits in 5 years. And he puts in sewer systems. So he knows the system. So he cannot claim he didn't know the system. So we're here of an ordinance, not because trespassers and noise, that's irrelevant to me. Tell me if I'm wrong, that's
Yes.
irrelevant, that's a civil issue,
No.
not.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
what are the 2 variance requests that are before us this evening? Are they variance from developmental standards for being an undersized home? Is that number 1?
Yes.
And then what's the second one? Is it a variance of use to allow
2 dwellings.
Okay, so as I raised last time, in order to pass a variance, whether it's before it's actually constructed, or in this case, it's after it's constructed, these are the questions that the board needs to assess. Number 1, for a variance from developmental standards, which would be for an undersized home, will the approval of the variance be injurious or not injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and welfare of the community? Will the use and value of the area adjacent to the property be affected in a substantially negative manner? And will the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance result in practical difficulties in the use of the property? Those are the 3 questions that state law says you need to answer affirmatively, negatively as you render your decision. Secondly, with regards to the second variance of use, it's those same questions. There's also a question of, does the need for the variance arise from a condition peculiar to the property? And will the strict application of the zoning ordinance constitute an unnecessary hardship? And the last question is, does it substantially interfere with Stark County Comprehensive Plan? Those are the questions that need to guide the board. It's not about police reports, respectfully, in my legal opinion. It's a matter of land use and those either 3 questions that state law puts forward or the 5 questions. And Amber, also for the record, if you can read into the record, I know it's part of what Mr. Hagenow submitted, but just reflect for the record, I think there was 4 or 5 letters that were read into the record last time. If you can just indicate that the letters from, for example, Bob Smith, Susie Jones, etc., are being reinserted into the record.
Yes, for the record, I have Amber Goods that were resubmitted into the record. Rebecca questions hers being submitted back into the record. And Jessica Kraus, she is present tonight, but hers is also resubmitted back into the record.
Well, I think in order to make a good decision, don't we need to review each question one at a time? Because I can't remember all the questions.
Even though.
We need to address each question. But that's what the statement is, so.
There's a set for
There they
the
come.
use variance and then the one for the developmental standard.
Right there. Approval not being finished, public health. Adverse effects. Application will result in.
What's that?
Would we discuss about breaking the property off? Can't have 2 places at one.
He'd still have to. He would still have to get a variance. Cause it'd still be too small to be on.
What do you suggest?
Right there. 280 square feet.
Right here?
Yeah.
So what do you wanna do?
It's up to you and Gene. You guys, I can't make motion, so you guys gonna have to discuss it, board to.
That? Or. Yeah, you can't put 2 dwellings on one parcel.
Mhm.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's,
Yeah. If,
That's one of the variance requests.
there's
That's
2
the variance.
variance requests in that is what Nathan
Yeah.
covered.
so if the, huh?
He's got 2 issues there.
Yeah. So you have to have the property has to be split, right? So you don't have 2 properties on.
We can't even do that because you got a minimum road frontage that you're dealing with.
He does own, the parcel right next to what he has, just so you know, Eugene. I didn't know if you knew
I
that.
did not.
Yeah, he owns this one and this one here.
So. He split the 3 acres off or whatever the second parcel is. Split that off from his original parcel and start and comply with probably all the fines and. Would that not would we get away from setting, I wanna get away from setting a precedent in the county, so everybody can't be.
We are
Matter,
facing that
sir,
case.
where it wouldn't matter. We'd end up in the same place where he needs to be ZA variance.
It's another variant.
It wouldn't, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. We need to focus on the two that he needs, because anything else is moot at this point. The building's already built. It's already being used. I apologize. It's not being used. It has been paused since November, so it wouldn't matter at this point.
So it's just, approve or deny his situation here, or?
No, I mean, you can put restrictions or, things like that, but we're just gonna end up back here if you change the variances he's requesting, you know what I mean? I would like to, Viz, if it's okay. I did inspect the property and I have a memorandum for record I'd like to read, followed by the health department, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
All right, so this is a memorandum for record. It has to do with the property in question. The background, a permit was originally issued by the Stark County Planning Commission for the construction of an accessory structure on the subject property. Say again, sir?
Was the date?
The date was, I can't give you that. It should be in the slide somewhere.
2021.
It was subsequently discovered that the property owner unlawfully converted this accessory structure into a residential dwelling unit without obtaining the required change of use permits or zoning approvals. The zoning violation, obviously the density and the dimensional standards. It's too small and it's a second dwelling. These are the inspections. So per the directive of the BZA, in the last meeting, I understand it's de novo. However, the inspection had already been scheduled at that point, so I did execute the inspection in anticipation of giving you the results at the next meeting. An inspection of the structure was conducted. The scope of this inspection was strictly limited to visible finished surfaces because the construction was completed prior to the building department being notified. Even with this limited visibility, several critical life safety and code violations were immediately apparent. Severe fire hazard. An active space heater was observed operated unattended within the crawl space. Utilizing a portable space heater in a confined combustible area presents an extreme and immediate risk of fire. Furthermore, the electrical circuit supplying this heater had not been inspected for proper sizing, dedicated load capacity, or required GFCI protection. Second, life safety and indoor fire hazard. The structure completely lacks required smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. This deficiency is critically exacerbated by the presence of an indoor gas heater. Without the proper ventilation and CO2 detections, this creates a severe risk of asphyxiation and carbon monoxide poisoning for any occupants. Plumbing and violations. An illegal S-trap was observed installed under the bathroom sink. S-traps are strictly prohibited under the Indiana Residential Code because they're highly susceptible to self-siphoning. Concealed infrastructure. The owner bypassed all mandatory rough-in inspections. Consequently, the framing, electrical wiring, remaining plumbing, and mechanical systems are concealed behind interior finishes, which is the drywall and the paneling. Structural verification. Because the structural framing and the utility rough-ins were not inspected during the construction phase, the building department cannot verify that the methods and materials used to meet the minimum structural standards established by the Indiana Residential Code. Septic and sanitation, this is the important part. The structure contains plumbing fixtures for residential use. The capacity and safety of the septic system supporting this secondary dwelling remain unverified by the building department pending certification from the Stark County Health Department. The current status of the building is it is still under a stop work order, and the owner has ceased all short-term rentals on the property. Recorded affidavit. Due to the inability to verify the structural integrity and safety of the concealed work, my office has prepared and submitted an affidavit of unpermitted and uninspected construction. This document is being recorded against the parcel's deed to provide formal permanent notice that the current owner and any future purchasers that the structure was not built under a valid dwelling permit and lacks required safety inspection. The conclusion, the unpermitted conversion inherently violates the Stark County zoning ordinance regarding density and minimum square footage. Therefore, a certificate of occupancy may only be issued upon the fixing of the inspection issues and the approval of the Stark County Health Department as far as the septic is concerned. So it is not a permanent denial, however, it will require fixing to get approved.
For clarification,
Yes, sir.
the GFCI outlets, you didn't inspect them or they were not there?
I didn't see one hooked into there are GSI outlets in the bathroom, or in the bathroom and in the kitchen. There's a sink that separates the two, and he has GFCIs on both sides of the counter.
Okay.
So that is good. I did not see a GFCI hooked to the space heater in the crawl space. That's where the GFCI issue comes in, because nobody's living in the crawl space, nobody can monitor that space heater. And it can go wrong and start a fire in the crawl space. And then I will be followed by the health department so they can discuss where they're at with their side.
Okay, on Friday, the 27th, Jeremiah contacted me because the board apparently wanted inspection. Okay, I can inspect until hell freezes over. That's not gonna do any good. State law from the Indiana Department of Health requires a soil report to be done first. That wasn't done. Talking to Jeremiah, he consented to have the soil report done. And on Monday, the following Monday, we had soil scientists out there and took borings. 3 days later, they gave me the results of those borings, and also with Jeremiah. Next day, when his employees come in, got a permit. Following last Friday, they put a new septic field in. I inspected it, it was fine. We covered it back up. Yesterday, I got a drawing from him, which was another requirement. So far, he has met the requirements from the Indiana Department of Health and the Stark County Health Department for a viable, working, approved septic system. I recommended that he have it pumped out because we used existing tank, which was sized properly. But it does need pumped out, and he's aware of that. Other than that stuff yesterday, it is an approved system as far as we're concerned.
With that said, once he fixes my issues, a certificate of occupancy can be issued for the site.
For the record, I'd like to, Jeremiah, if I can, to speak to that, because my understanding is these things have been fixed.
Yeah, I just haven't done a
I
re-inspection.
understand.
Yep.
I understand.
I can speak that they've been done.
So from the last meeting we had, which precedent did we set a precedent by allowing that, or is there supposed to be two separate properties for his dwelling there?
That's not what you said. That's
Nate,
It's the attorney.
Nate, what do you think?
No, so.
There was two separate,
No, there was no decision that can be followed as of last month because a part of the public notice did not go out. Moving forward, the two questions that are before you is whether or not there's a basis here for a developmental variance standard to build a smaller sized house than what is otherwise allowed pursuant to your code on the property. And then the second use variance is going to be whether or not you're going to allow two residential structures on one property. The reason for that is we don't have a split parcel here. So then the question is are you going to allow two for one?
there's where we're at. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That's what my suggestion, my suggestion here would be, he needs to split that property, that 3 acres.
He would still require a variance for the home.
Then he
Very.
would need to split that off, so we don't have two buildings on one property and setting a precedent. So everybody can start putting sheds up and doing their own thing, you know. If he did tell me that he is willing to split that property off, separate entity, then go back to the board and get approval. My thoughts, if he split the 3 acre, whatever, I'm gonna use the number, I don't know how much acreage is. If he splits the acreage off from his, as a second property, if he gets through that and makes a second property, and passes all the fines and penalties and inspections, would we not be setting a precedent? If he does that, splits his land and gets a separate deed for his land, then come back to the board for approval? Can that be done or no?
No, that's gonna be a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing. I'm just asking.
Well,
because I don't wanna make another mistake.
I have enough data to make a decision myself.
All right, then, what do you got?
What do you want to make a
What do you
motion?
wanna do?
I move we decline.
Okay, make a motion
I move we decline his variance request
on,
Okay, we got a
based
motion.
on our ordinances.
We have a motion.
No, you have to treat them one at a time. So first, make a motion and delineate. Are you addressing the variance of use or is it the developmental variance? You can only do one at a time.
You mean the
Is it the
variance?
size of the dwelling or is it the size?
I move that we deny the two structures on one parcel. I'll get it right.
that's what I was trying to get at.
And the second motion would be to deny.
One at a time, only one motion at a time. Treat your motion with your grounds.
Do we have to get a second on the first motion, Nathan?
Yes, but he should make his motion and there should be the grounds attached to it and then see if we can get a second for it.
I move we did not deny Mr. Patrick's variance request for the residence based on not allowing two residences on one parcel. Get it right.
Okay, we have a motion. Can we get a second for that reason?
You need to articulate the grounds. So you should have in front of you those questions that apply to each one.
What did I say?
This one?
Yes.
There. Why? This is the final, those questions now, please.
Yeah.
He didn't get the right sheet.
No.
There's two sheets now. There's one for the underside dwelling, one for the second.
This is the finding of fact.
Is for you to give the reason
Yeah.
why you are denying him two homes on one property. He just needs the reason.
Yep.
And then an ordinance.
Why?
Back in.
Hang on.
Residents on it, is there an ordinance for that?
Yeah, there's an
Well,
ordinance.
then there's your reason.
That's the reason. There's two ordinances.
There's an ordinance against
Cannot
it.
put two residents on the same parcel.
But that's why they're getting the
That's what the
BZA
variance.
request
for.
is
That's
because
what
they
they're
know the
asking
ordinance.
for.
It's to variate from
Like,
the.
yeah, that's a thing. That's what we decide is variances, whether we're gonna let them do it or
So,
not.
yeah,
You put a motion to not let them do it. That's where we're at.
They need to know why you're saying he can't
They
have two homes on
Because
one.
I want to follow the ordinance.
No, that's not. You have to go through each of the three questions. Is it harmful and injurious to the surrounding properties? That's number one.
Some
To the surrounding properties.
So.
You have the sheet in front of you.
It's, he
Let's
said.
Yeah, the sheet
Is
in
it
front of me.
injurious?
That's why I was like, I don't
Surrounding
have it,
properties.
he has it.
Is it? Uh, specific to that property?
Was the hardship, I believe the wording is self-created or
Yeah, it's a hardship self-created. Or.
I'm getting to it.
Yeah,
Nate can reverse them really well, but.
yeah, no, I was gonna ask him to do that, cause he spit it out 3 times. But I apparently have not been paying enough attention to be able to remember that.
What's the question?
The 3-question test.
All right, the 3-question test is, will the approval of the variance, if Gene has said he's going to make a motion to not approve, so he would say the approval of the variance will be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community
Right
because
there on that sheet, she got probably,
why?
it's on that sheet.
On that sheet.
2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property, including the variance, will be affected in a substantially adverse manner because, explain. And then 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will not result in practical use in the use of the property. So for example, Gene, that one you could say, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property as the second home which has been built was built without a proper permit, was knowingly built without a proper permit, was self-inflicted, and the remainder of the properties can still be used for residential purposes. So that'd be a reason to deny underneath 3. Number 2, the use and value of the areas adjacent to the property, including the variance, are affected in a substantially adverse manner as this is a residential area which is not zoned for VRBO use and frequent visitors to the backside of the property. Number 1, the approval of the variance will be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community as the property is not zoned for 2 homes, the home is undersized, and the zoning is not fit for hotel VRBO usage per testimony received from the public. That's how you would lay it out, Gene.
Get all that, Gene?
No.
What is it?
I didn't think you did.
That's lawyer talk.
I thought I should. Well,
Need to put it in
you want you.
lay terms.
You get a handful of things. Why do you want to say those? Is the question, not just because of the law, because they're asking for a variance for the law.
I think it's gonna be injurious to the county,
Okay,
and we're here to protect the county. We're gonna be hearing a lot more of these.
Yes,
We're gonna have tons of these.
So the ordinance is not to have two residences on one property. Is that the ordinance?
That's the ordinance.
Okay, there you go.
That's the ordinance.
You want
I'm
to-
gonna follow the ordinance.
Why you deny?
We're not gonna follow the
Everybody
ordinance, and we
just-
need to write a different ordinance.
So you want to
the
be
county ordinance,
Because we wouldn't have a
Board members,
nobody-
board members,
filed
board
for-
members. That's the whole reason, board members, that's the whole
That's why
reason
we're
why
here.
there's a variance is because
We could have stayed at home.
Who's on third? You should have.
so
Go ahead, Nathan.
that's the whole reason why they call it a variance. It's a deviation from what is presently the law. And here we're dealing with something that's after the fact. You could, I guess, perhaps imagine as if it hasn't been built and we're assessing this question, but the reality is it already has been. The 3 questions that you need to be approaching this from are what is in front of you. That's the state law. The petitioner has to be able to show you that it's not injurious to the public health. The petitioner has to show you that the use and value adjacent to the property is not affected negatively. And the petitioner has to show to you that if you strictly apply the existing zoning code, which says only 1 home per property, that he's going to be engaged in practical difficulties in the use of his property. That's his burden. you can accept what he's given to you and his basis, or you can say, no, respectfully, Mr. Patrick, we disagree with you.
You just have to cite one of those.
Is there anybody?
I just don't see it causing any practical
I cannot.
difficulties. At all.
Cannot. President cannot make a motion, so somebody else has to on the board.
And if you want to, Gene, I'm not saying one way or another. I'm just trying to say the law. I gave 3 suggestions for questions 1, 2, and 3. If you wanted to make a motion with those suggestions, you certainly could.
We gotta avoid setting some kind of a precedence here for, we're gonna get flooded, if we allow this.
It brings revenue to the county.
It doesn't bring
The owner
that
is
much,
respectful
no,
of Jeremiah.
excuse me.
The
We're not-
Jeremiah.
we're not up to
Well,
public comment. This is board comment,
Hey,
sorry.
This is, we're
This is
trying to
board.
work this out, really.
though, because I've been sitting here watching you guys this circus for hours. Thank you.
Well, that's because we're confused as the rest of the people, trying to iron this out.
The surrounding property owners have all spoke out that it is negatively impacting each and every one of them. That is precedent enough. You're not accepting. You don't have to speak, so.
Because we're done with.
We gotta
Go ahead, just, somebody needs to.
make a motion here. We have to deny this. I gotta do what's,
Gotta go by the sheet.
we're gonna go by the sheet, but everything was done wrong. To get to the point to make a fair vote. If we do not, if we allow this, we're gonna open a door up for the county and just, and put we're gonna be in trouble here. With everybody and their brother be doing the same exact thing. They're gonna start saying, oh, you can do what you want. You're gonna get yelled at, pay your fine, and just ta-da, go on with it. And we can't have that. If the county ordinance says you cannot have, and if this is an ordinance, it says you cannot have 2 dwellings on one property, then there it is. That's all.
Mr. Chairman,
Nathan, yes, Nathan. would you-
Okay.
So where do they need to go to make this motion? Because they want to deny it, but they
All
aren't
right.
saying the right words.
So based upon what I've heard, there's been a motion to deny the variance from developmental standards. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes,
Or is it variance of use? Which one do you want to address? Is it 2 homes on one property, or do you want to address the undersized?
you gotta address one first and then address the other second, correct?
Correct.
okay.
So how about we address the variance of use? Okay,
Okay,
all right. So number 1, Gene, let me know if you agree with this statement.
Well, wait a minute, Nathan, you can't make the motion for him, can you? I mean, I don't think that's proper. I understand you're trying to guide them through this, but they've got to make the decision. You can give them legal advice.
All right, so I'm going to ask this question. Gene, you made the motion. Okay, correct? And this is
Initial motion.
initial motion Gene made, I made the second one because of the county ordinances.
But they're asking for.
Try to adhere to that part of our law, the county, to keep everybody from doing this. And I don't have the proper language to.
Let him, Nathan, you want to explain it, what we need to do, so that way we can.
Can you
keep
put this in
those-
basic layman terms so we can understand it?
do you have the sheet in front of you?
Yes, get the sheet out. That's what I kept saying.
That is what's important here,
That
okay?
doesn't look like the right sheet. Should have number 9
What's on the screen?
on the screen, right there.
Which one do you have on the screen?
9, 10, 11, right there.
Which one do you have on the screen?
Yeah, I got it.
We use variance.
You
The
variance
approval
of
will
use?
not injunction to public health safety.
Okay. So the first question here to the person who made the motion is the approval of the variance of use will or will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. So Gene, are you saying that the approval of the variance of use will or will not be injurious to the public?
It will, because everybody be doing it.
Gene, you have to answer.
I don't think it would be. I mean,
That's fine.
eventually it probably would be, but that's not.
So let's move on to the next one, Nate.
All right. The use and value of the areas adjacent to the property, including the variance, will or will not be affected in a substantially adverse, which means negative manner.
So
I don't think it.
will it affect his neighbors adversely? Will it be bad for
Negatively.
neighbors?
I don't think so. From what I understand, I don't think it will.
You don't think it will be
I
negative?
think
Or
Is the word.
that's what he's asking.
the rental issue may be the issue because it's the.
It's the second dwelling.
So, yeah, as a second dwelling, it probably would be because it is being used by multiple parties.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, the need for the variance of use does or does not arise from a condition peculiar to the property. Does the need for this variance to allow 2 homes on this property arise from a unique condition of the property or not?
So is it
No.
because of the
No.
property or is
No.
it because of the property
Nothing
owner?
unique.
No, the property
What?
owner.
Is it not unique because the owner went ahead and did it without approvals?
That's correct.
Okay. Number 4, will the strict application, so if we say you can only have 1 home per lot, will the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance issue an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property? So will it create an unnecessary hardship for the property owner?
No,
No.
Why not?
it's an unnecessary, it's a rental.
Yeah. Really.
Okay, all right. And then number 5 is, will the approval interfere with our comprehensive plan? Or will it not interfere with our comprehensive plan? What is the concern that's been outlined regarding this already this evening?
It could.
Good, I mean, our plan is to have undersized dwellings and not have 2 dwellings on 1 parcel.
Okay, so guys, so the fear that you've articulated is that we cannot allow more than 1 residential home on a dwelling, otherwise we're gonna see VRBOs and dual rentals pop up countywide, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's how you then need to answer that question. All right, so Gene, is that your motion, what we've just worked through with your basis and findings of fact?
Yeah, I'm objecting.
As long as I don't have to repeat it.
Give me your pen.
The lawyer is making the motion.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
We're sending.
On the vote.
Give us a second. This is what you just said.
Hey, for the record, I'd like to object as well. He mentioned that things weren't done correctly, and you had 2 members of the county testify tonight that they were done correctly.
Initially, they were not done correctly. That's what we testified to.
Initially, they were done exactly.
No septic permit was ever obtained prior to placement of or after until recent.
I understand that. This board made a decision 3 weeks ago, along with stipulations which we complied with. They've been rendered since then, and now we're changing our mind, just for the record.
And I apologize for this. Just trying to translate. Self-inflicted.
I anticipate probably at a later date providing several $1,000s worth of receipts of things this board requested we do, which we did for the record.
That is what you said you do not like. So we're gonna make a motion, you make a motion, and you list those reasons.
So we have another.
I am not telling him how to do it, I am translating what he said. And you are welcome to have it.
I rescind my original motion.
Not.
That's all I know.
So there's not a motion currently on the table.
So we don't have anything at this point.
I make a motion to approve on the sheer size. He does have another dwelling. If we want to bring him through it, he's gonna bring us back here time after time again.
So you don't wanna do.
Our Airbnbs are gonna be a thing that are gonna pop up in the county. We're gonna try to keep a handle on it. Can you stay in a hotel right now in Stark County?
Yeah, 16-year-olds, that's who's coming there to stay.
No, Airbnb does not allow 16-year-olds. I have kids, I know.
Kids that were coming down my driveway.
Okay, it's not public. This is the motion. It stays with the property. The property sells, that does not go with it.
Well, how does that affect property value?
So hold on. Is that
Property
motion been
value.
seconded?
I'll
Is
make
that-
motion provided he splits.
Yes.
Okay, and is that an additional term that it's only unique to this owner?
Yes, and I think moving forward, it's probably gonna be to everybody like that.
Okay,
So I've got a motion.
and is there a second?
Yes,
I will second it.
I'm not gonna vote.
we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second,
Now discussion from the board.
we gonna take individual votes, Nathan?
Oh, after the
Yeah.
motion and a second, it now turns over to discussion from the board.
Is that not what we've been doing, Nate? How do we stop this from everybody?
Well, someone can speak why they
That's
want
what
to vote for or
that's what
against.
the next meeting's are. It's,
If we started.
it's,
You stopped.
You can't once you started.
It'll never stop.
It'll never stop.
so you guys have more stipulations you wanna put on it?
Are you talking
I say follow the county ordinance and make two properties. Get all the fines paid.
That's,
Get all the fines paid that we're supposed to be.
You're
Reapply.
on the wrong page.
Okay,
You're on the wrong page. That's not what we're here for.
right.
Can't do that.
Do all that.
Mark, you're gonna wind up voting on this.
Huh?
I said, Mark, you're gonna wind up voting on this.
You can't.
He's tiebreaker.
He's tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
Nathan, I guess,
Mark,
yes, yes, sir.
I let staff know I'm double booked tonight. I'm already late to my meeting in
Oh,
Cedar
geez.
Lake. John and I have talked. He understands the process here, the questions that you need to work through. So just with each of these motions, you need to make sure that you have accompanying findings of fact. You can have stipulations tied to it, like what's being done here. Just make sure they're very clean, what's on the record, what those stipulations are.
Hey, Nathan, I have a question. So if we get a motion and we get a second, but we have 5 members. And then if we don't have all 5, let's say you only get 2 members that vote for it and then 3 vote the other way, what happens?
And then it doesn't pass.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
And it's possible that coming out of this evening, there's no action because the board can't agree. So,
Okay,
okay.
okay, thank you.
All right, John, call me if there's anything. I'll be in the car the next 10 minutes.
Gotcha, sir.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. At this point, I guess we individually would like to hear votes.
What was that motion again? Let me hear.
Motion to approve the second dwelling. Stipulations that it only is for the current owner of the property. Yeah, that's, they have inspections to continue and get done. Things to change and verify that they're changed.
So then it'll be only him and that's it on this property. This is a
Yeah.
unique
For
case.
him owning the
resolve,
property.
but not anybody.
If he
not
sells it to
guarantee
somebody,
anybody
I
else is
think they
gonna
can
get
put 100
passed.
on it, yeah.
Are you legally able to do that after you made it, the dwelling, are you able to take it away from the next person that buys?
It's
Good question.
to the
That's a good
landowner.
If you look at number 12 there on the screen. The hardship is not solely economic in nature. We don't have somebody that's in a hardship situation where they don't have a home.
Yep.
That they're staying in. This is going to cause them financial.
We're not up for public comment, actually.
All right.
You had your chance, I'm
Nobody
sorry.
pointed it out.
But everybody had their chance. We asked 3 times, we closed it. Thank you.
You're right. I rescind my comment.
Okay. The other discussion.
Well, I thought we originally, my first motion that I did on this a while back, I thought was basically the same thing, a kind of one and done, and that's it. And, you know, so we don't set a precedent for the whole county to be doing this. This is a individual, each case will be individually voted on.
Okay,
But, you know, to try to keep us from saying, well, you let that one do it, why can't I do it and stuff like that?
I don't mean to change the subject, but we need to individually vote on that motion. So that way we know if it passes.
But it's a one, this is it, nobody, or because of this case.
Your vote, sir? You made a motion? You second the motion?
Yes.
Gene, are you for or against?
Against.
Kenny?
I'll be for it.
Okay,
Gotta
So it doesn't
put this
matter
thing
how I-
behind us somehow.
but I was not for it. So we have three, so the motion passes at this point.
It's sign the second, that's not. And right, or.
All right, and you guys now have to discuss the second variant.
You guys do. You can make the motion, so.
Now, the second variance
Is the undersize.
is for what?
The size of the dwelling, so
Uh,
the size of the
Size
dwelling.
of well.
Size.
well, the size of the dwelling is established because it's sitting there, right? I mean, is it the county ordinance says we can't, you're not.
It says that.
You got,
Agriculture land,
it's on agriculture.
it's zoned ag.
Okay, so,
900 square feet.
well, if he doesn't, he's gonna have to add on here, no. Because it's gotta, whatever the county rules are, I wanna follow that. I don't want anybody in this county thinking that we're not,
The problem is that you just approved.
So
it's a building.
So I handle the enforcement of the zoning. If they come before you, they're asking for permission to change. So that's the sticking point that Viz was talking about earlier. We enforce it, you guys are the judges. You say, okay, we'll let you do this or we won't. So don't focus on the ordinance so much, focus on the circumstances surrounding the situation and whether you believe it should be approved or not. But I wouldn't focus so much on the ordinance. That's for us to do.
We send them to you guys if they don't meet the ordinance.
Right.
Right, okay.
So at this point, I mean, you can't really do anything different in the second part because the first part you already approved. He's not gonna build anything bigger. You don't want him to build anything bigger.
Up the size.
Wow.
I make a motion to approve it. Like you said, we already approved the first one. We don't want him to build a bigger building. That's not accomplishing nothing of the opposing, so.
And that's where it goes back to where my original motion was at the first meetings was, so, because of it's unique and it's been going on for so long and so many different people have sat in these chairs throughout that time and we don't know who. What was said, how.
This never came in front of the
Fair.
BZA, just so you know.
Is there another? I made a motion to approve.
Yes, do we have a second?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So 3 again? Okay. Okay, motion passed. So at this point, set the stipulations with John and.
You got that one, that one.
Okay, on to the next hearing. That one was fun.
We're not done.
Kyle Kuiper? Kyle Kuiper? Anybody here for Kyle Kuiper?
Here. Why?
Come on up. The way up in front of the room.
I kind of wish we'd started with those two, because we could have let them speak right away.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We didn't have this question.
Oh, you're learning. They gotta learn.
Which question?
Every single one. You know.
So the stuff behind the BZA board is the end of the year.
Did you? Did you not get the list?
I haven't ever seen it.
Gene's been on it.
Maybe this isn't the job.
Well, that can learn.
You've been on this board how long?
2 months. Yeah, 2 months. 2 months. 2 months.
He's been on it a lot.
Gene hasn't been on it that long.
He's been on it since
A year?
I was here. Yeah, so.
been
right now
on it a
we should
year?
Know how to make a motion.
You haven't been on the BZA that long.
Yeah. 10 times. Yeah, but it had to be a whole.
Okay.
How many times?
We're moving on to Kyle Kuiper.
Maybe you could.
Okay,
That's kind of down.
Yeah. Let's just understand what we're getting to.
Yay.
That's the thing.
So this is a redo,
Yes,
this situation.
missed your last time. He's on
Yes.
his basketball
Yeah.
coach
Yeah,
and they have sectionals tonight.
yeah.
Are they gonna win?
They're winning right now. Yeah, it's second quarter now. Yeah.
The other one's over, so.
Do I need to? say
This is the property located in Monterey. I'll try to enlarge this now.
If I recall that.
Yeah, for like 4-H use.
And well, for personal storage with future 4-H use,
4-H.
could it go on this parcel?
Yep.
Well, and then a lot of these properties are really can't be built on and stuff because of
The soil.
level
Yeah.
soil, so.
So whoever makes-
Good use of property.
Whoever makes this motion needs to read those items like Nathan did to us.
Yeah.
9 through 12 or
The
13.
homework.
We don't plan on putting any electric or sewage or
Right.
living in it. We just want to put a pontoon boat maybe one day.
Yep.
We're very active family, kayaks, we have children, bikes, a bunch of stuff. We live on a lake lot, so there's not, a possibility to build a barn on the property that we live on. And this, I mean, we would look out of our front door and see the barn and we are able to follow all code. Anything that we are supposed to do, we're not building it ourselves, we're hiring a company, and we just would like to store some things.
And it's
On
not
our
already sold.
Yeah, this was from that, heard from last time. Those 9 through 12 is split retains.
This is public comment. Does anyone have anything against?
No.
No, I need a motion to close public comment.
Move.
Okay, second,
Second.
all in favor? Any more discussion?
I move to approve it.
You need to give a reason, it's on the, you need to make a motion, and the reasons are on the bottom of the page if you read.
Well, he's got the page.
9 through 12. Somebody's gonna have to step it up.
Oh my gosh.
I hate to say that, but that's, you have to.
I move to approve because it is not injurious to public health. It will not affect the
See,
value of adjacent
that's
property.
what we were looking for,
That land is useless for anything else.
okay?
The hardship is not solely economic. It's useless land. They can't do anything with it. And it's the minimum variance required.
Okay.
It
Do we have
means-
a motion? Do we have a second for that motion?
I would say.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See how much easier.
This pretty improved you and I'm thinking, I'm gonna go home.
Left me at the top, but.
They wanted to deal with you.
This is.
I knew that would be fun.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, have a good night. Now that's, you just have to keep in mind that the way we're gonna learn is that we have to come up with a reasons.
Okay, here's the final case, John Rhodes, the gentleman here are representing him, he is not here tonight.
He is online.
It's available by Skype.
He is on
Did what?
Zoom.
Yes, we do have it.
Of the thing for,
This
we
is,
have our meeting, the reasons.
Yeah,
for-
that's what we
Is
need to
that
do.
right there?
That should be on the paperwork, just like they handed out. That needs to be given out to board members. Yeah, you would have been able to give that out.
Yes.
definitely. We'll put Will Walmart, we can circle him.
This is the property right next to the beach. I recall.
Next to the boat launch. Yes.
Boat launch, sorry.
Is John available or?
Yeah, I can you guys hear me? It's.
We can hear you.
Yes.
Who's that?
All right, I'll,
Property owner, that's John.
I'm
He was
looking,
here
so
last
John
time.
Rhodey.
Yes.
I do have a question. Is that John's property, right? John's on
yeah.
the. Hey, John, I live over by you, not far. And I frequently go past your place right there. I was looking at that, and you wanted to put that pole barn right there in the driveway up close to the road. Is there enough room?
Yeah,
Really?
so we're looking at a variance of from 50 to 25 foot. We're actually gonna be in two spots. It'll be about 27 foot from the road based on the building in the driveway. It'll be behind the fences and behind all of the trees and bushes. So it will not affect anything with the launch. It's just gonna give us a little privacy for obviously you can see all the pictures of the people that are constantly in my driveway. I just want to close it off as best I can. Use it for storage. And honestly, I mean, people come in and out of that driveway in my yard all the time.
Yeah,
They use it.
Excuse me, I'm real familiar with it, that area. But I was looking at your driveway. You wanting to put this on your driveway? Good, what, isn't there a garage already? I see there's a garage door already there. Is this? In front of that garage door?
Yeah, so that garage will no longer be there.
You're gonna delete it.
And then
Yeah,
where
so-
the cars parked, he was planning on parking.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Gene's been out there. Yeah, Gene's been out there and has kind of seen, where exactly it would be inside that fence line. And that fence line is, I want to say 25 or 25 from the road. So this thing would be inside of that fence line. And again, it would only be two small points because of the way the lot is shaped. So it would be 32 foot from the road, and then it would go down to 27, and then it would jog up again, and then it would go down to 27 over by the mailbox area, over away from the boat launch.
So they're gonna kind of go north and south or east and west?
No, the doors would still be on the roadside.
Well, we already approved it, but in the last meeting, I don't see anything myself different, but I just had some questions because I drove by and I started looking at it.
I went out and met with John several times this past summer, 25 there, and we walked it through, talked about it, and I just saw nothing. I saw no reason then to deny it. However, he had not asked for a variance in his preliminary thoughts of what he could do to remedy his issues there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Amber, I don't know if you can, like the sight lines for the road.
Yeah,
maybe,
I'll go to him.
yeah, like the sight line from the road, you can see the bushes all stick out well after what any pole barn would be. You wouldn't even see it until you're right in front of it. And then there's also from the boat launch side, for any concerns there, the boat launch one, which is, I think the one shows views from south side.
Yes.
Yep, we got it.
So that's the view from the boat launch side. So you can see where that fence exactly is, and you can see the trees. And then there's a Google Earth slide that shows actually the top, and it shows how the building will sit. That one probably shows the best view just from the top and how, it's all wooded. You wouldn't see it unless you're on top of it, but it would give us the privacy. And, we're retiring and we love it out there. It's just a huge piece for our peace of mind because people are constantly in our yard, guys. And I think that if you've seen all the boats that block my driveway and all the people in my driveway, if you live around there, we're good neighbors. We jump boats, we give them oil, we give them gas. I push them. I help them any way I can. But this would just really make it so that, when my wife's there alone, I don't worry about people in the yard. She's sitting in the back, having coffee and people are walking around the launch to deliver, food to their fishermen because the other launch is busy. So they say just walk next door. And we're cool neighbors, but we just would really want this for our, obviously for the storage, don't get me wrong, but it's also, we do put up with a lot and the last guy lasted 6 months there. I've been there 5 years and we love it there. And we're just, this would really be a game changer for us.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
Sir, this is John McCurry. I'm just curious, do you plan on structurally tying in this structure to the main house, or is it gonna remain a separate accessory structure?
It's actually gonna be attached.
Okay, so are you attaching it by breezeway? Is it gonna share one roof line?
Yeah, the roof line will be shared. And so my son's there and my cousin Pete's there. He's a contractor and he kind of knows. Pete, I don't know how to explain it.
So the roof line will be, they will be tied together, so it'll look like one unit. But access to the new addition would be outside, like through where the porch is currently.
Okay, so there's gonna be a breezeway that connects the two?
It'll be a covered breezeway, yes.
Okay.
It'll be an exterior.
So are you going to, is there gonna be footings for that breezeway, or are you relying on the existing structures?
The breezeway is there now. It's built with footings because the overhang of the existing building is on it.
Okay,
So the columns for the original structure will tie into the new structure. So everything there will be structured.
okay, so there's already an overhang and you're just tying the garage into that.
Correct.
overhang. Okay, so there's no weight on the new structure. It's all held by the footings.
Exactly. All the way to the new structure will be supported by the new structure. Nothing will be transferred to the other.
Sounds good, sir.
Anything else? Can I get a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Board discussion? I don't think.
I've had a picture.
Somebody's on the sheet for reasons.
I would say put up a sign that says do not block drive, and then you can actually get people towed if they really block his drive that much.
He just.
Yeah, you know what the situation is? When they block my drive,
Post the signs, and then you got some backing.
I rather they block the driveway, to be honest, because when they don't pull up far enough, and then they kind of all just stand in my driveway. So I don't want to block. I'd rather them just block my driveway, and then I just kind of make my way in my driveway somehow.
Then they can't see around the trees to see.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other discussion from the board? Can I get a motion?
Gonna make this one?
You got it. I'll make a motion to approve it.
Well, you better gotta give a reason.
Based on all the reasons that paper says. And
It's gotta be you.
no, let me see that. I don't.
There's gotta be a reason.
And that one, I'll read the other one. And
Based on, I don't see any health or safety problems or welfare. No adversity, adversely adjacent property.
You have to read those out loud.
Okay,
it's on YouTube.
Reasons, yeah.
All right.
Motion.
Here's the reasons
It's fine.
of the conclusion.
Like,
Oh, my gosh.
The approval will not be injurious
I'm
to
internet
public
famous.
health, safety, morals, general welfare, guided
one.
conditions.
end up start,
Okay.
it's gonna share.
Number 10. Use will not adversely affect adjacent property due to partial size and placement.
Okay,
11. Strict application of the zoning ordinance would result in practical difficulties.
okay,
At 12, the hardship is not solely economic in nature. You know, on 13, the requested variance is the minimum necessary.
Okay,
So-
we have a motion. Do we get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All yours.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amber, for all your help.
No problem.
Enjoy wherever you are.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Motion for adjournment unless we have any other discussion from
No, sir.
anybody else? No? Okay. I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Get a second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So if you don't want to set up.